One of the best ways to rebuild credit is with a credit card, which might sound a bit contradictory since often credit cards are what originally led many people into debt. But the fact is that if someone is going to rebuild credit, then they're going to need to have good credit habits, which involves using credit responsibly. And thankfully, a credit card is a great place to start. In this video, we'll be discussing the best secured credit cards on the market. First, we'll discuss 6 secured credit cards that do require a security deposit. The first card is the Bank of America Cash Rewards Secured. This secured card can be opened with anywhere between $200 and $5,000. It has no annual fee and it pays a flat 1.5% cash back on every purchase, which is great for a secured card. The second card is the Capital One Quicksilver Rewards. This card also has no annual fee, and it pays a flat 1.5% cash back on every purchase. Quicksilver Secured Rewards can be opened with anywhere between $200 and $3,000. This card also includes no foreign transaction fees, so if you travel often, that could be useful. The third and fourth secured cards both come from US Bank. Both of these secured cards have no annual fee, and both can be opened with between $300 and $5,000. Also, both of these cards pay elevated cash back in certain categories. So, if either of these cards fits your spending patterns, then they may be a good fit for you. The US Bank Secured Altitude Go pays 4% on dining, takeout, and restaurant delivery. It also pays 2% at grocery stores, gas stations, and streaming services. Secured Altitude Go pays 1% on all other purchases. Another nice benefit of this card is that it provides a $15 credit for annual streaming service purchases such as Netflix and Spotify. The other US Bank card is the Secured Cash Plus. This card pays 5% cash back on 2 categories that you choose on up to $2,000 per quarter. The categories include things like cell phone providers, home utilities, department stores, and fast food. US Bank Secured Cash Plus also pays 2% cash back on 1 everyday category that you choose. The choices here are gas and EV stations, grocery stores, or restaurants. Both the 5% and 2% categories require that you manually make selections every quarter in order to receive the elevated payout. This card pays 1% cash back on all other purchases. The 5th secured credit card is the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Secured. This card has no annual fee and it can be opened with between $200 and $5,000. Customized Cash Rewards Secured pays 3% cash back in the category of your choice. The 3% categories include online shopping, dining, travel, and more. It also pays 2% cash back at grocery stores and wholesale clubs. The 3% and 2% categories have a combined cap of $2,500 per quarter. Also, the 3% and 2% categories do require a one-time enrollment. After that, the categories are saved forever, unless you decide to change them. This card pays 1% cash back on all other purchases. The 6th and final secured credit card that requires a cash deposit is the Discover Secured Card. This card has no annual fee and it can be opened with between $200 and $2,500. Discover Secured pays 2% cash back at gas stations and restaurants on up to $1,000 in combined purchases per quarter. It pays 1% on all other purchases. This card also includes no foreign transaction fee on international purchases. If there's any questions about secured cards or if they might be right for you, we're happy to help. Please let us know. Before we move on, just a gentle reminder that if you've made it this far, then we would really appreciate a click on that subscribe button. And if you turn on notifications, you'll be the first to know when we post new content. Okay, now let's talk about 2 of the best secured credit cards on the market. First up is the Chime Credit Builder Secured Credit Card. There's one main reason why we really like the Chime Secured Card, and this is because the Chime Secured Card doesn't require a security deposit. Yep, so after we spent all that time discussing how a secured card works, we're now discussing a secured credit card that truly breaks the mold of how a secured card works. Remember, the biggest drawback of a secured card is a security deposit, and this card doesn't require one. Instead of providing a security deposit up front, you can fund this card anytime you'd like, with as much money or as little money as you'd like. Which brings us to another great benefit of the Chime Secured Card, which is the flexibility that it provides. With most secured cards, your credit line size is determined by your initial security deposit. But again, with the Chime Secured Card, you can fund the card at any time with any amount. For example, every payday you can move $500 over to use on your Chime Secured Card. This will basically provide you with a $500 credit line to make purchases. If you spend that $500 quicker than expected, then you can move over more money anytime you want. Obviously, this method provides a lot more flexibility with your credit card limit and how you fund your card. One major benefit of this method is that the Chime Secured Card doesn't charge any interest. This is because, again, you're funding the card with your own money as you go. However, the Chime Secured Card does report to the major credit bureaus, and if handled responsibly, you will rebuild your credit. In addition, the Chime Secured Card has no annual fee, and you're able to apply without a hard credit check. These are some of the benefits of the Chime Credit Builder Secured Credit Card, especially when compared to a regular secured card. So, what are the drawbacks of the Chime Secured Card? Well, there's probably two. The first drawback is that this card doesn't earn any rewards. As we've discussed, many secured cards do offer rewards. So, with the Chime Secured Card, that's one thing you'll miss out on. The other potential drawback is that in order to open this card, you must also have a Chime checking account. This is because the deposits that are made into the Chime Secured Card will come from the Chime checking account. So if you don't want to open a checking account with Chime, then this card may not be best for you. The Varo Believe Secured Credit Card is another secured card that does not require a security deposit. Therefore, this card operates in a similar manner as a Chime Secured Card. The Varo Secured Card does require that you have a Varo checking account and receive $500 or more in qualifying direct deposits in the past 90 days. Just like the Chime Secured Card, this card does not charge interest, and you can fund it as you go with money from your Varo checking account. This card also has no annual fee. For more information on the Chime Credit Builder Secured Credit Card or the Varo Believe Secured Credit Card, check out HeroBanker.com. We've included links in the video description below. Okay, so those are two secured cards that don't operate like a regular secured credit card. All of these are solid options. The one that's best for you will depend on your individual credit, income, and other factors. Keep in mind, rebuilding credit requires maintaining good credit habits. Otherwise, you're likely to end up right back down the rabbit hole of having unfavorable credit. In order to maintain a strong credit profile, always pay on time. Also, if possible, always pay the statement balance in full every month. This will ensure that you avoid paying interest and accumulating debt. Just remember, think of credit as a tool. Credit is either going to help you in life or it's going to hurt you in life. Our goal is to help you make good credit decisions, so you're able to use credit as a tool in your favor. Okay, so that wraps up this video about the best secured credit cards on the market. If there's any questions or feedback, please let us know in the comments below. Also, we would love to hear stories about anyone who has rebuilt their credit. How was the journey for you? Also, which type of credit cards did you use? We'd also love to hear about any topics that you'd like for us to cover in the future. After all, we want to make sure that we're covering topics that are relevant and matter to you. Please let us know in the comments below. We welcome and encourage the feedback. We can also be reached on our social media pages and at info@herobanker.com. Thank you for taking time out of your day so that we can help you become your own financial hero. We hope to see you again soon. If you'd like to see more content like this, we would greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow Hero Banker on social media for updates on banking, finance, the economy, and more. Thank you.